Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Funsize, and today we're going to be taking a look at this int Gohan that is recently, or that has recently, super easy aid, and I know that he's already out and you guys can get him and everything like that, but I did want to go ahead and talk about him, well, because I'm kind of getting back into the game, if you know, you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of getting back into the game of talking about these things and giving my thoughts and whatever, and it was also requested, so I was like, you know what, we kind of got to do it. So, let's talk about what this Gohan actually does and what he's providing and his passive and whether I think he's good or not and all that good stuff, right? Because this guy is very, very old. As you can see, he came out in August 11th of 2016. Goodness gracious. And then he got Easy Aid on November 9th of 2018, right? And now he's getting his Super Easy A as of December 2nd, 2024, which was 2 days ago, right? He got it 2 days ago. And let me give my thoughts now, okay? I haven't used him. I do have a copy on my JP account, and I have him rainbowed on my other account, so I might even use him there. But we'll see what he's working with, okay? I haven't looked at these yet, so let's talk about it. So we got attack and defense 158%, okay? Starting off. Then we have key plus 5, plus an additional attack and defense 100% when key is 7 or more. So that's basically a free, plus 5 key and attack and defense 100%, because most of the time your goal is going to be supering with this guy anyway, like a full 12 key. Now, he is one of the few units in the game that can super without a full 12 key, just so you know, but you definitely want to have 7 or more, right? Like, this is a unit that was designed for people that weren't able to get supers with 12 keys all the time because of just how the game was back then. But then we have a plus an additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super attack. Okay, cool. Then we have launches an additional super attack and medium chance of attacks becoming critical hits when all allies are super class. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So he's got a 30% chance to crit, and he launches a free additional. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, granted, you do have to keep it, all super class, which is not really that difficult either, but just something to keep in mind, right? If you want the maximum potential out of him, keep him on super class. Then we have guards all attacks and medium chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, as the second or third attacker in a turn. Now that's interesting. The reason that's interesting is because most characters that get guard and or dodge, they don't have both abilities together. So this is one of those, it's not very common, right? It's really not. But the fact that he does have it is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. So second and third attacker, where you're going to want to put him anyway, because he does get a lot of defense from supering, right? Gets a lot of attack and defense from supering. So you're going to put him in second and third slot anyway, generally. This guy is probably a floater and or a character that you want to put next to someone else to make them look better, right? Like, for example, we could even put him next to this guy. This guy is absolutely bananas. Even still, if he's allowed enough time to actually build up, he is still stupid, in my opinion. They did his Easy A really well, and within the coming years, we'll have his Super Easy A as well, which is probably going to take another 10 years, but that's beside the point. Once it happens, baby, it's going to happen, and it's going to be great. But then you can also put him next to this guy, because he's also sharing 4 links. This guy is still one of the best units in the game. Like, come on, let's be honest. He has dominated the meta from his release up until this point, right? Like, right before the next anniversary units that come out. That is wonderful. I love the way they made him, and I hope that he's still very strong for many years to come. And when he gets Easy A, I don't even know how I'm going to feel about it, because he was already so good to begin with, and he's just going to be broken all over again. But that's going to take some time, right? It's going to take some time. Don't get me wrong. It's going to take another 2 years or so before he gets his Easy A, but that's still pretty good. Still pretty good. But then we've got, let's see, plus an additional defense of 30% up to 120%, and chance of performing a critical hit, and chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, plus 10% up to 40% with each super attack performed. Okay, that is pretty significant. That is pretty significant, because he's going to have a 70% chance to do a crit, He is then going to guaranteed additional if he's on super class. And then he's also going to have a 70% chance to dodge with the second or third slot character. If he's second or third slot, he's going to have a 70% chance to dodge if he's able to attack 4 times. So with this guy, you're going to want to build him additional and dodge, right? Like that's just how that goes. Or dodge and additional, one of the two. Like either way, you can, any way you slice it, you don't want to build him crit at all. Crit is useless on this guy because he's going to get crit as he supers, right? And then same thing with the dodge chance and everything. 70% chance to dodge is not bad, but we all know 70% chance to dodge with an extra chance to dodge is even better. So just take that with a grain of salt, if you will. So he's going to take at least 2 turns to get him fully built up, unless that trickle of additional gives him an additional turn, and then he's built up that much faster. But it's still going to take minimum 2 turns for him to get built up anyway. It's not like that's going to really change anything. So I would say definitely full dodge for this guy. Because again, he's going to be 70% chance to crit, 70% chance to dodge. He's guarding and the dodge itself, right? That you're giving him on top of that. So that's good, right? That's really, really good. Now, the benefit of giving him additionals versus just straight up dodge is because then he looks even better when he's able to additional again, but that's very rare. And more often than not, you're going to get the dodge chance versus the additional, right? That's just how I feel about it. However, some could argue that because he has an additional built in, that will proc potentially the hidden potential more often anyway. So it's really pick your poison as to what you want out of this character. Do you want more of a heavy hitter? Like, right, you want to get more offense out of him, or do you want to get more defense? Because personally, I see this character as a defensive character that is supposed to help everybody else. And he is very well suited to do so. Because again, he's guarding, damage reduction, additionals, supering. He's doing it all. Like he's doing everything. And then on top of that, he's supporting. So let's talk about that for a second. So superclass allies attack and defense 30% if there is an extreme class enemy, plus an additional attack and defense 28% if there's an extreme class enemy, right? So, I mean, 30% support, that's not bad either, And then he's getting the additional attack and defense of 28% if there's an extreme class enemy. So he's looking good, dude. I'm not gonna lie. He's looking pretty good for how old he is and how they've completely changed the way his kit works. For the most part, like they've given him a lot more than what he had. And I like it. I do. I really do. I don't know about his defense and what it'll be at. So I don't know if he'll be able to eat normals like that, which I would assume if he's already supered, he can. And then to get rid of supers, he dodges, right? So I like him. I like him a lot, actually. I don't know what team I would run him on, to be honest. I mean, he is on a bunch of teams, so, I mean, pick your poison, I guess. But I like him. I do. I really do. There isn't a whole lot to want here. He's not leaving a whole lot to be desired. Because he's doing everything. He's supporting, he's critting, he's additionaling, he's got good defense from supering, as well as being able to guard and dodge. So he kind of does it all. The only thing that he's not doing that would make him literally broken, busted, absurd nonsense is if he was orb changing. If he was orb changing on top of all of this, he'd be one of the best super easy A's to exist. To be honest, he'd be insane, but he's still up there as far as actual utility and what he's actually doing. I really like him. I do. So I don't know what you guys think, but also greatly raises attack. So he's greatly stacking attack, by the way. So I don't know, guys, that one could say you could build him additional or dodge. Either one, it's good. Either one is good. Okay, he's going to look real good. Needless to say, I like the Gohan. I like the way he's designed. They did a good job with him. So far, they've knocked it out of the park with all of the super easy A's. If I'm being totally honest and fair, Boo was insane. This guy's insane. Even Super Saiyan 3 Goku was usable at the time, right? I'm going to be honest. They're doing a good job with the super easy A's. It's almost like they know how to design characters and they do stuff like this on purpose, or they make characters buns on purpose so we have something to celebrate about later. But anyway, Let me know what you guys think of this Gohan. Are you going to use him? Are you not? Are you excited to use him if you get him? Let me know what you guys think. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.